In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the tool available within XRM Toolbox toolset called as Easy Translator. Now, this tool allows you to translate the Dataverse content into multiple languages. Now, the purpose of this tool is to basically convert the the content from one language to multiple supported languages within your environment. Now this is useful in a scenario when you want to use model driven app with multiple languages. Now it will give you that one is to one translation. Now remember, like, if Power Platform environment has multiple languages enabled, it will not translate the custom content which you have added into the application. So take for example, if you have added a new custom table with custom columns and custom logic, then it will not understand the target language for it to convert into. Anything which is by default available within the Power Apps Dataverse component, like contacts table or accounts table, for all this it will be able to convert into different languages. But then anything which is in custom, you will not be able to do that. For this tool will be very handy. Now what it does, it basically it converts into different languages. It has an ability to translate for following components like tables, attributes, global option set, sitemap components, dashboard components, views, charts, relationship, forms, Picklist, multiple things. So this has been created by MSCRM Tools, an author who has contributed in building this tool named as Easy Translator. Now this is how the tool will look like. First, what you need to do, you need to load the entities in your Dataverse environment once you are connected to a specific environment, and then based on the option set selection you will be able to export the translation. And once you export the translation, it will be in the form of Excel file. Make the changes, equivalent changes in target language, and then import back the translation. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. So this is a model driven app. Okay, so this is a very simple model driven app which has a listing over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go inside one of the record, and as I see over here, there is a custom column which has been created by me. Okay, so this is a custom table. The accounts and contacts are the by default table available within my environment. Now just to show you uh, the context, Power Platform Admin Center. In Power Platform Admin Center for a specific environment, if I go into languages, I can see that there are so many languages which are currently enabled, like Czech, French, and there are many other languages which is in the interim of getting installed. Okay, because I've selected Dutch, Danish, and all those different languages. So currently, as you see over here, French and Czech is selected. Okay, for this environment. Now if I go into this language settings, I can see that the language enablement is still under progress. Okay, so just to show you this form currently is opened. Now if I want to change into different language, I'll click on clock icon, click on personalization setting, and go to languages, and then I can select the user interface language as either French or Czech. Now let me select French. Excuse me. So as you see over here, it has converted this entire page into French. Okay, so on the left hand side, you will see this left menu change to French. By default, table which are available as a part of Dataverse is changed to French. The command bar is changed into French equivalent, and as you see over here, there are some things which is not yet converted into French, like these fields. Okay, now these fields are the custom field which I have created, and these are the custom data which I have entered. Now apart from that, everything it has converted. Right now there are some things like the tabs and all those things, it has not able to convert that, but all the other buttons and all, it has already converted that into French. Now the problem area is the thing which I've highlighted in blue. So how do we get it converted? Right, so for that, what we will do, we will pick up one example, like say hospital name and location, and we will go to Google Translate, and we'll just say hospital in French. So if I want to see how you spell hospital in French, so it is something like this. Okay, so So this is the application. Now we have converted, like we have selected the option as French, but the goal is to convert this into French as well. So for that, what you need to do, you need to go to XRM Toolbox, open the XRM Toolbox, and if you have not installed, go into the tool library and install Easy Translator. Now I have already installed Easy Translator, and that's why I'm able to see Easy Translator. If I go to Easy Translator, first thing what you need to do, go into the load entities, load either from an all entity or from a solution. Preferred approach would be from a solution, but in my case I have not created any specific solution, so I will just go ahead and open the hospitals table over here. Now as you see over here, by default it is showing everything in French, right? Now why? Because I have set the display option as French for me, and that's why it is giving me everything in French. So before you make any language change, first make sure that you configure correctly everything in your base language, which I will do. So I'll just select hospitals in Australia, and then I'll not make any changes over here because I want everything to be translated. Global option set, sitemap, dashboard, entity, attributes, all those things. And the next option, what I can do, click on export translation. And I'll name this file as FR translation. This will give me an Excel document. So it will start exporting information in Excel. Now let it load. So once this Excel file is generated, I should be able to edit that Excel file. I'll show you what export does it gives you. Now remember, the goal for this particular exercise is getting those custom column which we have created and convert it into French, because we want the entire application to be in French and not like just the placeholder areas or anything which is by default provided by Dataverse, right? Now as you see over here, this is this Excel file has already been generated. Now this is how the Excel file will look like. There are multiple tabs. Now this tabs are coming based on the options that we selected over here, right? Now I'll just say no because I've already opened. Now in the entity tab, it will list down entity. Now the entity logical name, display collection name, and display description. 1036, 1029. Now 1036 is for French and 1029 is for Czech. So that's why I'm able to see this. In attributes, I can see 1029 Czech, 1036 French. Okay. Now like this, I get relationship. As I do not have relationship and relationship many to many, I'm not able to see that. But then if you have that comprehensive table, you should be able to see option set, booleans, views, charts, forms, and there are so many other things which it allows you to make those changes, like form section, form tabs, forms, charts, views, form fields, sitemap areas, sitemap groups, sitemap sub areas, dashboard tab, dashboard section. So like this, right? But the sheet which we are interested in is this attribute sheet. Okay, so let me maximize this and show it to you. So see, the goal for us is to change the, say, uh, hospital name and capacity text. Okay, so what we will do, we will just minimize this for time being, and then here in Google Translate I will just type in hospital name, and this is how the hospital name is translated in French. I will copy this and then I will go in the next column 1036, and then I will just paste this. Okay, so this is what is equivalent in French. Now let me format it correctly. Okay, and next is capacity. So I want to take the capacity text and I'll copy this as well. So just copy this and the capacity text which I see over here. Let me minimize this a bit and maximize the French one. Uh, so capacity display name, this is how the capacity will look. Now like this, we can go ahead and make those changes in all the sections, right? Display name, description, and for all the different column. But in the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. I'll just keep it for two, and I will click on save. Now remember, don't change the format of this Excel sheet. Don't add anything in terms of the structure. Just add the data. Once you're done with it, just close this. Then what we are going to do, we are going to go into the XRM toolbox. Now here, we will click on import translation. Now we will import the translated value, select a file to import. Now here it says translation file, and it has given you an instruction that Excel file should meet the following conditions. Nothing should have been changed in terms of schema. All those instructions are provided over here. Once you're good with it, select over here, select the FR translation file which we have just used, and remember to click on import translation. Now it looks like the translation is imported successfully. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the model driven app, go into the hospitals table, and go into any of the record. And we have made changes to two column, hospital name and capacity. Now it has changed in its in equivalent form to French language, right? So that means, like, by using this easy translator tool, we'll be able to change all the custom column, custom table, and any other custom entities which we have created in an equivalent language. Now again, reverting back to a different language, what we can do, we can go to personalization settings, and once you are in the personalization settings, you should be able to change in the different language. So if I go to language and I have multiple languages over here, I'll just select English for time being and click on OK. Now, once I select English, then all the names should be equivalently translated into its equivalent language. So, hospital name capacity has now come in specific English language. And now, if I again change back to different language, I should be able to see that changes. So, that's it, folks. This is how you basically use the Easy Translator XRM Toolbox to translate the content into different languages for your model driven app. Thanks for watching.